Snacks before D&D are important.
Well, snacks during D&D are also important.
Mm-hmm.
I actually feel like it's a snacks sort of day, right?
Definitely.
Oh, it's so cloudy over here. It's windy. It started
It is.
raining and then it stopped, and then it started raining and then it stopped.
Gross. Oh, that's the one.
This is like coffee day, basically, or hot beverage day.
Oh my god! Fucking god! That felt good. I wasn't ready.
I thought I'd be a little
Get
more
the
subtle,
shit out of me.
but
31 Wait, how the fuck have you managed
Yeah.
that?
right, it gets a bit scary sometimes when you look at it and you go, "That's not even possible, is it?"
30. That means I've been an affiliate for that long. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm like,
Yep.
wow.
I've basically been there for D dot for you and for
Yeah,
Quinn.
yeah.
And
You
so
got my
every
measurement
one
of
of those.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm the same with Bex and Perd and whatnot. Yeah, and it's been there from day
That's so
dot.
crazy. There are so many of you.
He was waiting.
There's so many.
He was waiting.
Holy guacamole is Castle Sedane. Gummy, thank you for shouting him
Oh,
out.
gum.
Dane, what do you think of our new look? We're very square. Except for Quinesta. Quinesta got arm room because he's a gesture kind of guy. Look, you go. Oh. Are we voguing now?
Well, I mean, it's either that or. But I'm not doing that.
Did you guys know I went to an 80s quiz night the other night?
I do now.
You know when I said I was hanging out with Zane, he was coming over to play video games?
Yeah, yeah.
Then we got video called by Anixion. And Anixion was like, hey, we're at a quiz. I'm running it. You have to come. And we were like, oh, okay. So that was fun. Cassie, thank you for raiding. Thank you for your support. Hello and welcome to Cassie's viewers. We're playing a Dungeons and Flagons.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Hi,
We'll get there.
Hebe.
But yes, thank you.
Very square, much cute. These little guys are courtesy of Prodicious. Prodicious is awesome little 8-bit art of our characters. I'm obsessed. Hi, Meow! And then I did the background in Such Art Simulator. You know that that video game that lets me paint. Fun facts. That's how I did it.
Much truth was had that day.
Much truth.
Wow. Yes, hope everybody is well. Or at least, an approximation of.
Well.
Well.
Is the music a little ampy? I'm sorry, chat. I'll turn it down.
Yeah, maybe I won't use these dice. Apparently the D4's...
That might be better.
case.
I remember you streaming that. I miss it. You should do it again. I should do a Such Art Day. It's a fun game. There's actually there was a huge update to it, and now there's a whole underground garage bit of the game where you can paint a whole wall, which is what I did for this background thing, because it gave me the biggest surface area I could get in the game. Unless I painted directly on the walls of the game, which I could have done. But... So video games. And D&D. And who's doing the explainer from last time?
Yeah, I suppose we're all here, so we should probably crack into it. So let's just get into it. Who wants to do the recap?
I can do it, but I
can do
it. Okay, you go.
Yeah.
You pop up.
I need to pull up my notes. Hold on. I'm very sorry.
That's a great point.
I
though.
predict
should do
3
that.
words. Stuff
Oh.
and things.
Stuff and things. Oh, sorry. I just killed you guys for a second there.
No worries,
I
Kirsten.
need to...
Have a good relax, mate.
It's this one.
Yes,
Those
no
are the
worries,
other
Cassie.
one. So on the previous
It's an
episode,
Oblivion banger.
Previously on.
so on the
I forget every time. Oh god, that's so good.
it was the aftermath of combat. Please refer to
Episode
the previous VOD.
19, yeah.
Please refer to. I'm very sorry, I was not there.
True, you weren't. Oh god.
Basically, there was a lot of hubbub, and this wonderful soldier woman started walking down the steps and looked very annoyed, and immediately asked the guards why the men got out of the jail cells and why they were dead. This was the captain of Falling Embers, Captain Salt. She turned around and demanded Jean and Ty to go to her office, while Jean to go get patched up and Ty to go to her office to have a chat. We were all waiting for people to come down. Seket still keeping her promise to Tusk. Wanting to make sure that nothing awful happened to him. And the captain asked her to move and began interrogating the poor question mark, poor guy. Who knows? Who can say?
The man.
There was a zone of truth attempted,
Oh yeah.
and it failed.
Well, it worked on other people. Just
It
not the
worked
right
on some
people.
people,
Just
just
not the
not the
intended
right
target,
person.
yeah.
And there was some information dropped, and excuse me. And then we were told to go to the captain's quarters as well for some questioning. We found out some information on the way that the captain lost to Tusk before in a fight. And then we found out that Ty, the farm boy's family, was killed by people in the jail. And then we got more information about the captain returning to the capital tomorrow to send letters to the Fallen. Sir Arthur is going to Sunhaven still, needing to talk to someone directed by the Keeper of Dark.
Which is also the capital.
Which
They're
is
going
also
the
the
same
capital.
way.
Yeah. Sarah Wath is also kind of inebriated at this point in time.
Yeah, she's very drunk.
She passed the heck out.
Yeah.
Let's say, are you inebriated if you are in fact not conscious?
Good point. We found out that a Dragonfly-esque beacon will be dropping to Falling Embers to pick up the captain. And
Very
now
high
the farm
profile.
boy. The beacon is the highest rank as well. This is where my notes go downhill, I'm very sorry. There was mention of a mining town 2 days north from Falling Embers.
Yep.
Fairly high supply of the Summer Realm's precious ores. Foothills of the Sunreach Mountains is where the night guy is at. The night guy being... What's the question for the deep? It was the, Oh, no.
Alright.
You're doing so well. There was a lot of
Th-
little
these-
things that happened.
Yeah,
These are... Yeah, I'm very sorry. These are... my character's notes, so they are very
Yeah.
like thrown around.
I think the
You
only
took way more
things-
notes than I did.
the only things you're missing is the ghost crab.
Oh
And-
yeah! Oh my god! Snip, snip, and dip.
The snip, snip, and dip stealth
Yeah.
mission, yeah.
And then the other thing you're missing is that Vianne was super impressed with my fireballs. Like,
Yeah, very
it's just a little
impressed.
thing. Like, it's not a big deal or anything.
It was Farouz Marat, correct?
The
That
name
was
of
the
the
name.
Yes, yeah, the place
the name
with
that was dropped. Yeah, Farouz
Yeah.
Marat, yeah.
Who's not that
Bas-
far away?
Yeah,
No.
he's supposedly that 2 days north in
Mm.
the mining town of Ruavan. Yeah.
After all this was said, we walked out to go find our own lodgings. Jean was standing outside of the door. Basically, we went back to the tavern. Nofret was feeling quite unwell and wanted to focus on her runes. Vian was talking about the captain, ascended to captain a few days ago. No one really likes her. She killed a lot of people. Apparently, she was on a one-on-one against Tusk. She lost the fight, and when she lost, not only did she lose the battle, but she lost her mind and literally exploded. Everything burnt. That blast is what caught the leader. Also, Jean is convinced that Marat is the ringleader of the slave ring, and she is very concerned about the timing of everything. About the timing of the
pickup for
the
Captain
Vermeer,
Salt happened
Yeah.
very, very fast. Considering
almost
only...
like it was pre-planned.
The amount of information, like how fast that information, with the fact that they would have been on the expedition, the capture of the bandit leader would have happened, and the message would just about have needed to have been like received at the capital before they even got back to the fort for the beacon and the Vermirathrin or the Sundarters to make the flight down in the time they are scheduled to be. Yeah.
Also, destination of mine is no clue at the moment. Perhaps after sleep there would be some clarity.
Which is potentially going to be a chunk of what is going to be figured out today.
Hooray!
That's the title.
Amazing, Frey.
Yeah.
Great,
Good
I'm
read-
very
good read
proud
there.
of you.
So, you guys did finish up the session still in the tavern with no name, where the other adventurers are sort of potentially looking at time for them to retire. Surawatha is in fact passed out, head down on the table. Nofret has already retired to the room. So I guess, yep,
We're sharing one room.
yes.
Yeah, the room. Vianne got us
because-
a room.
Yeah, because there were 2 rooms available, and they were shared between the other rival party, and then she basically just strong-armed them into they get one room, and you guys get one room. Because otherwise there was just no space left. So, I actually think we sort of said you guys get your long rest at the end of it. I really feel like I did say that.
The only
So, yeah.
could I do a roll to see if I understand my runes a little bit more? Like I went back to the room. I don't believe we did that last time because I was just like I was tapping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
were.
like,
It was, yeah. Yes, you can. You and I actually need to touch base on which ones you do.
Oh yeah,
understand.
also another note.
I
The
believe she only had
guards,
one.
when the guards were looking for Snip, Snip, and Dip, they could not find him whatsoever, and Seket turned into Hetty, and then basically cast invisibility and went down to collect her dear familiar herself.
That's right.
And the little crab floated its
Chaos.
way out. Yeah.
They all saw it dead. I'm just going to put that out there. They all saw the crab, so that Second is no longer deemed insane.
Yeah, because they were wondering about the hell she was talking about a crab being in there. But yeah, no, so which? Because we actually haven't touched base on which runes you understand yet. Not for it.
For far as my memory goes, she knows this one's air.
Yeah.
And
The first one was air, which was your temper,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
But I don't think, because I failed at a few rolls trying to get to know them.
You've had some pretty spectacularly bad rolls
Yeah,
every time this knowledge has sort of come up. You've
it's been really
managed to...
oh no, we're just gonna keep stringing this along, huh? Okay, cool.
Yep. Well, I mean, you know, you might find out more.
And I'm trying to think if Azeria told me what any of them mean, but I don't even think Azeria told me.
You guys, before Azeria left, you guys had finally sort of maybe come to the understanding that you shared some knowledge about runes. Yeah. And there was potentially going to be a discussion.
It never happened.
And then Azeria left for home. So
my brain says I only know this one.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. I don't think you'd actually.
I don't think I've learned any of that because I feel like I would be playing into that more if I did know.
Yeah, that's cool. You can then make a check.
Is that Arcana?
It is Arcana, yes.
Okay. Big money, or I fucking throw you outside.
She won't do that.
19!
It was threatened.
It was threatened.
19. That's
These
pretty
have
good.
become her dice. It's crazy.
Yep. Given the hidden modifier that I've been adding, that makes it 25. Every time you level up, you get a +1 to understanding what they are a bit more.
So that she'd eventually get there.
So that eventually knowledge would have to flow at some point anyway. And it is just that whole sort of natural experience with it too. Like eventually you're going to glean information about it.
With the kind of spells she's been using, and I've been doing a lot of earth and fire, that's for sure.
So there is this progression. Where did it go from after your temple?
Okay, the one after my temple was my collarbone.
Okay.
And then it went to my hand.
Gotcha.
And then it went to my cheek, I believe. Then throat. And the belly button, which...
Belly button's the latest one.
Yeah, belly button's the new one.
Okay.
Her navel, if you will.
So, the thing that you note is... It's hard to see, but these little...
This one, and this one are glowing.
Yeah, the little marks that are effectively invisible unless they light up. Which also means that you don't really get much of an opportunity to study them unless they're, primed. Means that it's been a little bit difficult to really actually make note of their appearance. They are a series of geometric patterns. They are not really anything that fits into any sort of specific style. Each one is different. But what you do note with a 19 is that there is almost like this underlying pattern on the one that's on your temple that seems to share almost an underlying series of lines on the one that's on your hand. Which means, even though they're connecting somehow, those two seem to have something in common. And it does take, perhaps a little bit of study and thought about it for you to think that perhaps the one on your hand also is representative of an element. Which element? Not 100% sure, but you get the impression that it is something to which maybe you have a bit of an affinity, which then leads the mind to maybe go, would it be earth? Potentially. You do seem to use things like the earthen grasp, and your rune does create this aegis of stone over you. That rune did come about after meeting, the earth elemental Morius. And the place from which you sort of got your power potentially stemmed from an earthen-like being. And the more you sort of put your thought and your direction into it, the more that shape sort of crystallizes in your mind and becomes associated with the element of earth. So yes, the rune on your hand represents the element of earth.
Yay!
Yay!
I know
The other four, however, now once you isolate down what that rune is, you can almost see kind of these almost connecting patterns. There's this underlying rhythm to them. But trying to associate that with any of the others, they all seem to be a completely different mesh. Like, you would look at it and you can see a way in which these runes might connect, but nothing about the other four seems to connect in any way to the two you now understand. So perhaps the other four are not connected to the elements.
What? Ooh. Okay. Cool.
And that's what you get from your study about that tonight.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay.
It's like new knowledge. I finally have some.
Yeah, and it may not be the end of it today.
No.
Because the other thing, was last session is Jean took note of the lights and wanted to actually have a conversation with you, but you'd already retired for the evening. Speaking of, I'm going to assume that you all retire for the evening.
I retire for life, actually. I'll take that. Gold
You're done.
card.
That's it. Yeah. I'm out. So I'm going to assume as well that Siddhartha's coming with you guys.
Oh yeah, Frey's grabbed her, trying to probably attempting to hold her up.
All right.
Very
Both
smug.
gnomes trying to help the gnome back to a room.
Very smug because she's probably gonna crack jokes in the morning.
Quite possibly. So you make your way to your lodging for the night, or morning, because it's kind of late/early, and retire. So now you may all get your long rest. If there's anything you guys wanted to do, I don't know if any of you want to stay up as a watch inside this guarded fort, or do anything of the kind. But if there's anything you want to do for the evening, now would be your last opportunity.
I've done my thing.
And I'll change the date.
This is an opportunity if you wanted to change spells. Just reminding
Also
you
true.
have that ability.
Yeah, good boy.
Also true.
I think every now and then we need to remind you.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I can change spells. There are some specific.
Sometimes it feels like it's more work than it's worth.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes you just commit to 4.
There's
You're
certain
like, these
spells,
are my
yeah.
4.
You
There
go for
is-
your 4
yeah.
spells, and then you have a couple that you cycle every now and then.
There is a spell that Frey will always keep though, because she's just found it very
Fighting
important.
No, calm emotions.
Yeah, calm emotions.
Oh, yep.
I was going to say tidal waves.
Well, she always has that one anyway.
They always got it in the back pocket.
Because the other one, that if it wasn't going to be something like that, was going to be Zone of Truth. But yes, that also makes sense. Okay. Yep.
I take out of my hidden shoebox my chess piece.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one you got from Grim the
just-
Hobgoblin back
yeah.
in Fear of the Wild, wasn't it?
And you're just it's not that I'm doing anything with it. It's like a tool to think about. And Nofred's after her runes kind of fade back and disappear, you're just gonna see her tossing it and catching it while she's lying in the bed, and she's just thinking.
It's not thinking about anything in particular or specific.
She's
ruminating.
Yeah, I'm ruminating on the Slaver's Ring, essentially.
Ruminating.
I'm we've just learnt a little bit more about them.
Potentially a lot more.
A lot, yeah, and it's sort of well, do I believe that this person is gonna be the highest guy from what we know in such a remote place as this? She's just amusing. She's amusing. Hi, Broken. How are you?
Which is kind of along the same sort of lines as was brought up in one of the other conversations. You know, why would somebody like this, you know, the notes that you had from Claiborne made it seem like he wasn't particularly high or in charge. I think he was the Black Knight.
White.
The white, yeah.
It was one of the two. I said the wrong one to begin with, and then I actually went and looked at the notes partway through. I can't remember which one it was off the bat. I'll look for it soon because it will be relevant at some point, I'm sure. But it was also brought up as what better way to hide the identity of the leader of the slaving ring than to pretend to be one of the mooks, one of the minions, one of the regular members. So it is entirely possible that there might be more under the surface. But without incident, the night will pass. It seems as though whatever guards may have much of their senses left about them have been chastised enough to keep a relatively secure watch. And yes, you will achieve a long rest.
Hooray!
Teddy would have just kind of laid on her back with like little snip and dip crab just on her chest and just talking away to it, like soothing it and just explaining things in the world she's seen and just, you know, prattling on before she falls asleep with it just perched on her chest.
Yeah, giving Slanderous a nice little view into the world. There we go. Let me bring up the thing.
All my spell slots are back.
Nuggy.
So
I love that you have a tail that's just wagging there.
So the chess piece you got from Grin was the Black Rook. The Black Bishop was the Lady in Qualan. No, okay. So he has got a White Knight, or he's known as one of the White Knights. I keep getting them mixed up, but yes. Yeah, he was known as one of the White Knights according to Claiborne's notes. But you are all awoken what you can imagine is relatively early by the sounds of the garrison here waking up and beginning to go through their morning routines. Most of your nights thus far have been spent either in the wild, in the quiet, or at an inn where, yes, there's a bustling city around you, but not exactly much in the way of military maneuvers going on. And it seems as though the commander of this fort, perhaps maybe still a little bit, shall we say, miffed at the events of the previous night, is ensuring that the remaining people in her garrison are, well, yeah, they're this is their calisthenics. This is their discipline. This is what they are going to have to put up with, hungover or not, and work it out of their system. So whether you got a full 8 hours or not, regardless, you'll get your long rest. But you do wake up. The noise is prevalent outside. The shouting of orders, the stomping of feet, the drawing of weapons. You know, you can hear the thock of arrows hitting targets and swords hitting other assorted wooden weaponry. But the day, I suppose, in as much as possible, is yours for whatever you would like to do.
We don't hear any flying beasts landing, right?
I mean, you can make a perception check if you'd like, to see if you can hear something like that over all of the other prevalent sounds in the courtyard below.
Yeah, is Captain
Well,
Salt
not
here
below, but-
still, or have they already gone? I am in a room, huh? Yeah, 10.
That's an average perception check. You are, in fact, in a room, yes.
I am average.
No, you
Aw.
don't hear anything that
My
could be...
character.
You don't think you don't hear anything that you think could be attributed to any sort of flying creature. And the only voice you can really hear above others is sounds like it's the one belonging to Altan, barking out the commands below. Well, not below. I keep saying below, but it's not below. It's a one-story building that you're in.
It's one step down.
Yes, you go one step down. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Everyone feeling okay? All good after the fight last night?
I feel much better.
Yeah? Well, that's good. That's good.
It's amazing what a good night's rest. It's amazing what a good night's rest can do.
Very true.
Mm.
So, what is our plan for today?
Well, that's what I was sort of gonna ask you guys. We should, whatever we do, we should probably go say goodbye to Vian and that crew, Just keep that as like a really good relationship between two adventuring parties. But aside from that, Suruwatha, you're going to Sunhaven. How are you feeling? Do you want us to?
Yeah, she's still snoozing.
With the she's still asleep.
In fact, it would appear as though she is still in exactly the same position that she was put down in last night, and you can almost see the tiny little puddle of drool.
Maybe we could talk to her about it later.
I don't think she
Should
is
we
going
be
to be
worried?
very...
Should we be worried about her being stuck in a dream again? Like, this might not be a very good follow-on.
So you think we should wake her up?
I think.
I think that would cause a little bit of suffering.
What if she's suffering right now?
She probably is.
I would say, can I look at her and be like, does this person look like they're like magically asleep, or are they just fucking asleep? Are they just inebriated still? Are they hungover?
I mean, you could make a medicine check, I suppose.
Yeah, I go up.
Can I do one of those too?
I listen to
go
her
for it.
breathing.
I watch fascinated.
Average no for it is back 10.
18.
18. Well, she's definitely asleep, and it would appear as though maybe she is dreaming, but given the state that she was in, where it was just almost like a death-like coma, she's definitely there and reacting. You can sort of see the eyes moving in the REM cycle, and just she appears to just be well and truly zonked out. And perhaps her having a bit of a night of indulgence maybe something that she needed, but also maybe overindulgence was not the best thing, given that she's still really kind of recovering her strength.
That's
Do we have some water in here for her?
I was about to say, do we have like jugs of water or something?
There's a pitcher of water on your one small desk. Yes.
Maybe we should just leave her a note and go talk somewhere else, though, and let her actually get some sleep.
You want to leave her alone?
I don't want to leave her alone.
We're inside of a fort of
Ray's gonna poke
guards who
Zarotha,
are
trying to
alert.
wake her up.
We were literally attacked yesterday in this very fort.
I imagine Frey's got bed hair right now and is eating a biscuit and is like kicking Sarah.
Just giving her a poke to see if you can wake her up.
Spoken yet to us, and you're just like,
It's morning, wake up, wakey
Yeah.
wakey, can't
You-
handle
you
your
sort-
liquor.
You sort of get that moment where she sort of half rolls from the motion of being prodded, and you get a
I
her
honestly
head sort
think
of goes,
just leave her. We're in a
rolls back down
place
to sleep.
full of guards. She can't be that in harm's way here. And if we're going to go around believing all of us are in harm's way at all times, then we're just living on the edge of anxiety, and I'm...
Yes, that is the point.
She literally got stuck in a dream and is not waking up. I'm sorry if I jumped to, a wanted conclusion.
Frey's gonna use shape water for the little pitcher, and she's going to, like, bring some up to, like have it hanging over her, so it's like this dripping.
Little dripping it on her?
Yeah, like literally like on her forehead, like on the side of her forehead.
Is that a
Just
form of torture?
the really small,
Is,
like
yes.
Is that waterboarding?
No, it's not waterboarding, but it is a method of torture that has been employed in the past.
Oh,
Yes.
dear.
Uh,
Oh yeah, no, never mind. Waterboarding is different.
yeah, no, waterboarding is something very different. The steady plinking of water dripping down. After a very short time, her entire forehead is now sheeted in water, and the drool that had kind of formed under her mouth has now sort of enlarged, and you're not sure what ratio of it is saliva to water, until eventually it sort of must seep into the corner of her eye.
oh no.
And she just sort of sits up with her just...
Now you've done it.
Morning?
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Wow, there's a lot of drool.
Your little globe of water, unless you've gotten rid of it, I assume
Yeah,
it's still
she's-
hanging in the air.
She just put it back into the pitcher.
Okay, alright. And she's just sort of like... She's immediately looking at you. It's kind of like...
How do you feel?
I feel like I've got a hangover and it's great.
Yeah. And would you like to go back to sleep?
I haven't had a hangover in ages, but yes, please.
Okay. Here is my recommendation, team, since you're so worried about leaving someone alone in a room inside of a fort that has lots of guards. Hey, Hetty! Snip Snip is very capable of sitting and watching someone sleep.
I almost ate him last night.
What?
I do not suggest that. I don't think.
Was that all the begging
would
in
be
the room?
very
Were you a cat?
Yeah, the whole time.
It's at 3 a.m. zoomies.
There was definitely a point in time where he was just staring at that crab.
And the crab, not understanding the potential danger it might have been in, was just staring back. That was like the entire
Like
night.
looking
It was
cross-eyed
just a
because
cat
it's
and a
a
crab. Yeah, it was just the cat and the crab sitting across the room from each other, just slanderous as like a newborn. He's got no idea.
But yeah, what do you-
Slanderous. Would you like to stay here and watch to make sure she's okay while we go off for a little bit?
You don't want me to go with you?
I'll come back for you.
Okay, I can stay.
You can still talk to me in our minds too. You can't do that with Sickett, but you can with me.
Okay, who's who?
I am the little one. Sickett's a big one who just dropped you in the prison.
we just see her just making huge gestures, and we're like, she's explaining the difference.
This is all going on in the head. Yeah.
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 It's just the head
Yeah.
gestures only.
Just let me know if anyone else that's not us comes into the room. Or if she starts thrashing in her sleep. Or if anything changes.
Sure.
She goes over and scratches the top of his shell.
And he just.
Vandra's
I'm
like, I don't
going
get
to
cuddles.
The legs just kind of bend a little bit, and the body goes almost flat to the ground. It's just kind of wiggles in. Okay.
Vander, I really wouldn't recommend it. He's not exactly he's a new life. You know, you could just leave him to live a little while.
That means he's tender.
Okay. Well, I'm not
Soft
much,
shell.
I'm not much for seafood, but you would know, so
I've tried a bit.
Oh, when you were on the ship?
Yes.
Is it any good?
It's okay.
You're not eating my crab.
No, no,
His
no,
name is
never.
Slanderless. Why am I not convinced?
I don't know. I'm very convincing.
Keeps winking at me though. It's kind of odd. I don't know what that's about. Breakfast. Let's go.
Okay, good night.
We'll bring
It's
you
sort of
back
what I just-
something salty and fatty. Yeah.
She's already lying and shuffling slightly to try and get her head out of the big pool of water, but not. It's like there's no full level of effort. It's just like I don't even care right now. But you all exit the room, leaving Sudawatha and Slanderous, or Snip Snip and Dip, in the room, and head into, I guess, the main room.
Did you guys get any indication from our new friends what they were going to be doing with their day today?
No idea. I did not ask.
Well, I thought the unmitigated asshole would have told you something.
It might have, but I wasn't listening.
Did we get a group name for them? Do they have a group name?
They do, but it hasn't really come up.
It hasn't come up yet. No, I didn't think so.
No.
Otherwise, I would have had that note.
Yeah. That's why when we were talking about it before, I've kind of every time I went to mention them, it's just they became the other adventuring group.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like, well, you haven't
The
got a
other
name
group.
for them yet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we sit in the bar for breakfast.
Okay. So you head into the somewhat abandoned room, where there's basically nobody serving anything resembling breakfast. Given that this is in fact a fort, and this is not currently a place where people take their meals.
No marketplace here. Oh,
There might be somewhere else, but given the current more militaristic nature of this under construction fort, this tavern is not a place for food.
Got it.
Yep.
Well, do we keep wandering around, or we have the place to ourselves and we can sit and talk? Up to you guys.
I would like to find some food.
Okay. Well, you probably have the best nose among us, so why don't you lead the way?
That way.
All right.
You just go for it?
Yeah.
You're gonna attempt to smell out some food, or just going in a
just
direction?
going.
Just going. Cool.
Whatever you do, just do it confidently. People believe you. Keep
Yeah,
going.
that's the one. All right.
We'll find something in this direction, surely.
Yep. So leaving the tavern, out in the fairly bright light of the Summer Realms morning, the large orange flame-like crystal towering over the fort. There are, of course, many drills currently being held in the courtyard with the soldiers and their lines and going through their routines. Several of them do appear to be sitting on a couple of benches, currently spooning something that I guess resembles food out of a
Like a
bowl
person.
with a...
They're spooning each other.
Oh, we're gonna have one of these episodes, are we? Oh, okay, so... something that
One of those
resembles
drills.
food out of their wooden bowls. However, first thing that is you can't really see anywhere that seems to be a place you would acquire food here yet. There must be, but it's not anywhere that is visually obvious. Are any of you particularly familiar with any form of, shall we say, military or disciplined setting?
I would say Sickett is, but Sickett's not out currently.
And Hetty is not.
Haiti found drills boring.
You would daydream at those points.
The only other thing is there is a fair bit of noise coming from outside the fort as well, which you can vaguely hear over the sounds of the garrison, and Altan yelling out the sort of the count for the drills. You would kind of assume that if you can't source food here, inside the fort, perhaps one of the sort of the sprung up settlement outside the fort may have something somewhere. Given that everything inside the fort at the moment, because it's still under construction, does serve more of a military purpose while it's underway. But it's up to you whether you guys want to see if you can find something inside the fort or you want to resort to heading outside Falling Embers.
I think we should head outside.
Okay. Is that okay for your range with Snipperson?
Dinner?
Should be okay. I don't know. I've never done it before. See how far I can get.
Okay.
That's a good test.
Yep.
Find out just how far I can call for help.
I'm sorry, what?
Interesting way to phrase it, Vander.
Oh, that is exactly why we left him there, to call for help if needed.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yep.
I just rolled an insight on him.
Oh yeah.
4. I got a 4.
All four.
You got a 4!
Damn. I love this.
With my +2.
Well, he does in fact still seem to be Vander, so that's a start.
Uh-huh.
What a prankster.
Okay. So you head on out the gate, which has its two customary guards. Today, instead of it being a pair of the Royal Knights, it seems to be a pair of the Rangers. One of whom seems to have a large sort of hairy mane inside a cat-like face, almost reminiscent of a lion. And on the other side is an almost quite crimson-skinned human. Like the face actually looks like it's suffering from pretty severe sunburn. That sort of red, like really, really recent. And they're both looking a little tired, like most of the soldiers here. But as you sort of progress outside, you do see the settlement you noted on the way in, just sort of off to your left, where there does seem to be a bit of a bustle of activity. There are a variety of wagons that seem to have been set up outside. It's almost like until this fort is finished, a lot of the trade and the merchants and whatnot have set up some of their stuff outside. But they're close enough that should some sort of attack be imminent as reprisal, they're fast enough they can get into the fort. There's just not enough room in there at the moment with this overstocked garrison to protect it. But there is definitely food, there is chatter, there is clamour. It even looks like there's a couple of the merchants who are attempting to even sell some of the goods that they have here, instead of waiting for wherever the next destination was, whether they were heading south to Cascorn or heading north further into the Summer Realms.
Does anyone look like they got anything interesting?
Well, you need to define interesting for me. There could be a multitude of interesting
Cheese.
things. Cheese?
Yeah.
There is some cheese. I don't know how interesting it would be. Most of it seems like it's been, like it is a very much a hard-packed travel cheese. It doesn't look particularly appetizing to those of you who are used to a life out and about. Stekhet, who's not here, potentially Nofrit. And even Vander, I imagine you would have seen some of this on your travels. I'm not sure how into cheese any of you are. But a lot of it does seem very dry, hard-packed cheese. So it's almost like a travel ration version of cheese. Whilst there might be some interesting things available for purchase, it seems that what they are selling here is just kind of extra. They're taking the opportunity to maybe earn a little bit of extra coin. Some of them are either offloading goods because they don't want to travel any further for now. But yeah, there's some cheese.
Now see here, Fred. I pick up a chunk of it. This.
Hands off the goods!
I'm just I'm going to purchase it. Okay. I'm just explaining to my friend here.
Well,
This is good.
no,
Savory.
that's 10 copper for that bit of cheese now that you've touched it. You gotta purchase it. 10 copper.
I'm looking at the scale of sizes of cheese you have on this table.
You've just
I would
picked it
assume.
up. You've put your hands on my cheese.
You haven't wrapped it very well, have you?
It was unwrapped to present it for people to look at, not to put their hands all over. Not until they bought it. So now that you've touched it,
You can have your 10 copper, although I
Thank
feel like
you.
I could have gotten a bigger size for that amount of money.
you possibly could, but you know, now it's got the taste of you on it. No, what were you going to tell me about my cheese?
Wait, is 10 copper equivalent to how many silver?
One silver.
This is 1 silver, okay.
You just paid 1 silver for
I paid a fucking
wad of
silver.
cheese.
Yep.
But you know what? Lofred's gonna stubbornly enjoy this shit, yeah?
That man massively scammed the shit.
Yeah, massively.
Massively.
But I'm not gonna. I'm trying to be in a good mood this morning. Lofred's
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna fucking let it get to me. I'm not gonna.
Yep.
Let the thrill of the hunt for a good bargain get in the way right now. This is fragrant. It could be better. I look at the store owner. It is savory. It is salty. This is what good food is, Frey. This is it.
Should listen to her. Sounds like she
Oh.
knows what cheese is like.
Would you
Yeah,
like some bread with
you
that?
probably want to let that soften in the sun or something first.
No.
Yeah.
In the desert, we eat it just like this.
Oh, you'd be very used to that then.
A question to the DM.
Hello.
I know that it says baked, like the sweet baked good. But can
Yeah.
Frey attempt to make like I don't know, like something to do
A
with
cheese
cheese?
stick. A
Like
cheese
just
stick
a cheese
A-
stick or
A
something.
baked
Sweet.
cheese stick.
A baked cheese
with the
stick.
dough wrapped around cheese.
Yeah.
You know what? Just because I don't give a shit and it's funny, go for it.
Frey's just gonna pull out of a pocket like this.
Wait, can you do like a 50-50 roll? And then like if it's under 10,
Oh my God.
it's like sweet still?
Oh, I was sitting there going to wonder if the cheese was on the outside and the dough was in the middle was going to be the 50-50.
Blessed!
Oh god.
Go on, Frey. Describe your
Your
baked
creation.
cheese for us.
It looks quite confusing. Because it looks like it's supposed to be like a pastry, like a sweet pastry good. Because you're so used to making it.
It's
But it
shaped
has,
a
like-
pastry.
Yeah, it's shaped like a sweet pastry, but it's got like this weird swirl of pastry, and then the inside is like cheese. It's cheese, right? And when
It's
you
all
buy
right.
You
when-
do it with like
when-
cream cheese, with which you know you can make sweet, or
Mm. And when you take a bite of it, it's very strange because you're so used to Frey's pastries being, you know, sweet. But when you take a bite of it, it's salty for some reason.
not gonna lie,
That
it's
is
amazing.
that's
Mm.
very
Ooh.
good, Frey. That's very good. And see, now I'm going to earn my 10 copper back because I only had to use yours as an example. Now we can sell these. I walk away from the man.
He's too busy beaming at the fact he scammed you out of a silver.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
This is where Nofret now makes a stand right next to his.
Just to show how much more money I can make from you.
Out of curiosity, is there like prices listed for the? No.
No. He's still in the process of pulling some of the cheeses out and unwrapping them for display on the on the makeshift back of his wagon. You know, because it's not actually stalls or anything. They're just sitting up as they are. And he doesn't even look like he's got anything he could set prices up on. You know, so he's still in the process of setting it all up. And just this lady came along and just reached out and grabbed a bit of his cheese. Yeah.
Ray's gonna turn around and ask, do you have Gouda?
Me? No, I don't carry Gouda.
Oh. Okay, have a nice day. Hopefully you'll...
Is this good enough for you?
Hopefully
I was tempted
your
to make a Gouda joke, but I thought that'd be just so gauche of me.
So cheesy? No?
Hopefully your sales are well.
Yep, you too. Enjoy your cheese.
Doesn't have Gouda.
Shall we find some bread?
Oh no.
We can find bread. Yeah, sure.
Okay, you gonna try and find some bread?
Just some nice bread.
Okay. It doesn't take much because, funnily enough, given that you've got some pretty keen perception in the group, you can actually smell fresh fired bread in the air.
Nice.
It smells as though somebody is actually cooking bread or has recently finished cooking making up some bread. And it doesn't take too long until you find a wee way further down this street in this settlement. There is, in fact, an individual sitting there. He's got an array of crystals set up in a pattern around him, and they're giving off a heat. And he's got in the center of this little pattern, he's actually got this large sort of stone setup on which he's got these piles of dough that are slowly cooking. And it's open air, and he's just creating it that way. And he's already got a pile of fresh bread that seems to be cooking pretty quickly, set up on another piece of stone next to him. And he's just very, very intently watching as he's got this setup of these crystals, and they're slowly warming and creating bits of fresh bread for people.
That looks amazing.
That
Smells delightful.
See, that's the smell of happiness.
Aye, nothing like a good bit of fresh bread in the morning. Can I interest you?
Of course. How much?
Well, it looks like you're some hungry folk. 4? How many loaves do you need?
Get that
At least
piece
5.
of
5 loaves?
We have
tell you
a
what.
friend back home.
I tell you what. Throw me a couple of copper, we'll call it square.
Sure.
A couple
This
of
looks
coppers?
wonderful.
That guy down there.
No,
There's
it's
like 10
different.
coppers for one bit of cheese.
Different. It's the aging process. It's very different to bread. You know?
Frey's gonna
Sounds like it got ripped off, friend.
put down one gold coin
Oh, fuck!
and just be like, "These look amazing. Please."
That is too much. I can't.
No,
No,
it's
you-
okay.
It's not worth that much, please. You'll actually embarrass me.
It's a dog in the market, you know. So,
Yeah.
There's probably a couple dogs around here.
That was
Guard
us
dogs with wagons,
whimpering,
yeah.
like, oh god.
Yeah. No, please. I if you were to give me a gold, I'd give you all of the bread that I had. But you know, I'm providing for some of the others around. But it's too much. Please, just
you
a
say
couple
so.
of copper is fine.
What if we give you the gold as a down payment for future bread? Say if we come back tomorrow, we get some bread as well.
I think it's still too much.
See, we really love our bread.
I can tell that.
Mm.
If you're willing to pay a gold for 5 loaves of bread,
you don't need to do this to make me feel better, Frey. So.
Please.
Meanwhile, Hetty actually meticulously counts out the copper he asked for, like really
Yeah.
proudly.
yeah, he's looking rather embarrassed at the fact that it's like he can't give you change for that, and he's not Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, this is
Oh.
beyond his
Hey,
scope. of-
Vanda.
yeah.
Yes.
You want to do a sleight of hand check to leave the gold coin there anyway? This is out of character, by the way.
I was gonna
yeah.
say, I
Please.
think he can hear you.
Yeah, the man's sort of sitting down on his rock, sort of looks at that that interchange. It's like,
Hi, Lizzie.
huh?
Oh no, I dropped this gold coin.
Oh no, I fell.
Oh no!
Oh no, Cleo.
I mean,
Alright.
you can try and persuade him to accept it if you'd like, but he's probably going to feel incredibly indebted to you.
Oh no! Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Meanwhile, Hetty's given him the right amount of money and just scooping up the loaves quite happily and just humming along and like passing them out to everyone.
Thank you.
They are freshly cooked, so they are in fact rather warm.
Oh, he
so-
deserves the gold coin, though.
So he does have some little sheafs of, they're almost like very thin, like a parchment material, almost like a, yeah, and you can sort of take those and actually hold the bread in that, and for whatever there's this parchment like material actually absorbs the heat and keeps your hand cool while you're still
Is it
on
just-
warm bread.
Oh
Is
my
it just
god!
like plain bread or is there like some focaccia in there as well?
All of the stuff he's doing here on the side of the road with this crystal style is all just very plain bread.
He deserves the coin, though.
I know you're very enthusiastic about the food world, Frey, but why don't you ask him for his recipe? You know, pay him for that, huh? Or like ask him where he got the crystal from. Pay him for information. You know, you figure out a way of getting something more for your, for your
My
money.
sister, so great with money.
Yeah, well, I'm just, I'm gonna walk away. I walk away. I'm gonna go look at other market stands.
I love how petty the Tuvasa sisters are.
And it's just become more petty with time, which is the next one.
Especially because it's the one that aspires to be a merchant that just overpaid for a
Yeah,
small
because
chunk
I
of cheese.
touched something I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show Frey cheese.
But yeah,
Some cheese would go really well with this bread.
I'm walking away. Wow. look
Frey
at this
will
over
ask.
here.
About the information about the crystals and about his recipe.
And he proceeds to tell you the recipe for making dough.
Excellent.
Bread,
Like
water,
completely
and salt.
seriously, like as in like
Just
Oh,
savory dough.
you're actually asking. Okay, so here is how you make dough for bread. And and as far as the sort of inquiry over the crystals goes, he sort of gets a little more like, I had these custom designed. They can control the direction of the heat so they all go inwards and regulate a temperature. They were expensive, but they're worth it. They require a little bit of recharging every now and then, but I can constantly churn out relatively fresh loaves of bread.
That would be
Other
so
things,
nice for my oven. Oh.
Yes, how does that balance on your head, I've got to ask?
Oh, well, you see, she's gonna take the oven off of her head and show, like, the little hair, like the knot.
She's got a hairpin on
Yeah.
it.
She's got, like, this little, like,
It's a hat pin
Part
that goes
tied
through
up.
it, yeah.
like, it's a part tied up, but it's, like, in a way where it's, like, stuck on her
Okay.
head. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
But
that.
yes, you may procure bread. You now know the recipe for creating bread.
She will then leave a silver and start walking away without even.
Miss, you've dropped your coin.
The defeat!
That guy.
It wasn't a gold piece, so
No, it wasn't.
no
Nope.
feeling like you're in debt.
We can't let the cheese merchant get the best deal of the day.
No,
Mhm.
very true.
He deserved it.
Some merchants are assholes. Some of them are actually just really good souls, and sometimes you don't meet the ones that are very good souls very often. So, but he sees an opportunity to create something very basic for people and provide a service. So yeah.
And before they go, Hetty is just no words, just a happy, content look of eating this warm bread, like that every chef loves to see. You know, you don't actually use words to thank them. It's just that happy look of the warm bread being devoured.
Okay. So you've acquired 5 loaves of bread and a small hunk of cheese. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Don't we need something greasy?
We do need something greasy. Maybe it's like a sausage, salami, something to put on top of the bread.
I wonder if
could go
anyone's
for
cooking eggs.
quiche.
Quiche? Wait, you could make quiche since when?
No. Like, I could go for a quiche right now.
Oh, you can go for a quiche. I thought you were saying you could make it. I
no,
was like, that's a whole
no.
egg that you're gonna...
That's egg. I don't even think I'd be able to. I think it would just, like, turn into this weird amalgamation of, like, egg and sweet sugar. Imagine
Hetty's
that.
eyes do like an anime twinkle at the idea.
Ooh.
I was also thinking, Frey, while we're out getting breakfast, we could also look around for some cool ingredients, you know, for
Oh.
our adventure.
See, I'm now really curious
Aw.
after seeing the...
Nugget.
Oh, Nugget.
He's a cutie.
The puppy.
But after seeing the crystals, I wonder if I could just, instead of having my hand in my pocket, just create stuff with my hand. To see it be made, but I don't know. Could explode. Could explode.
Could explode, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know enough about crystals. I'm not gonna say anything. Just gonna leave it at that.
It's not a crystal though, like, you can check my pockets.
I have.
Hetty's just gonna like actually go over and open Frey's pocket and peer in and see what she can see.
Oh my god.
It's like a whole little restaurant and they're like, help!
You've
Someone's
opened
pocket!
you've opened the gate to a bottomless void of miscellany.
Mhm.
Enter Misk. The wild hole.
Okay.
It's like-
Misk.
What else are you guys gonna do here in this little almost half settlement that's grown up outside Falling Embers?
Finding sausages and eggs.
Grease.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting grease.
We're still on the breakfast hunt.
Yep.
And
I'm
hunting
looking for potion
ingredients.
ingredients. Yeah.
Okay. So
Hetty's looking for anything bright and colourful.
all right.
That's eggs.
So so we'll say you guys find some hot food that is being cooked up. It's one of these things where there are actually small little pockets where people do just have food, small little things. There are some that are almost set up like this is where you would go to get food because they know that if you go inside the fort, you're likely to end up with a bowl of, you know, gruel or broth or whatever it is they're using to save money to feed the soldiers. But it would take time. You'd probably have to wait. There's a few other people that have maybe gotten used to the way things are working out here. But if you're looking, I don't know, for a hot meal for all of you, it would probably be another couple of copper each.
I can do a couple.
Yeah.
Just a few? You are a little skint at the moment, yeah?
I'm fine.
It's okay. Every merchant has their off days.
You know, I'm going to be in a good mood today. Despite you.
So, what else were you guys looking for?
Lofred's doing the smile that you guys never see her do.
Are you okay?
What the slightly crazed look like? I'm going to be happy.
I'm
Whatever
gonna be
the hell.
And I'm smiling.
Okay.
Katie just
great.
grins like challenge.
Yeah, looking for something bright and colorful, and looking
Yeah.
for potion ingredients.
Okay. Well, as far as bright and colourful goes, there is one of the merchants who has set up what looks like a almost like a standing coat rack or like a hat rack, and over top of the little branches of the hat rack, there are a variety of what would be the scarves or sashes. There's no real clothes or garments fully for sale, but there's a few of these sort of bright accessories. No worries, Bix. Some of them are very bright, some of them are a little more on the mundane side. And when it does come down to bright, you do see that some of the wagons have other brightly coloured objects in them, but they've not been brought out for some form of display, so you're also assuming they're probably not for sale, unless you were to inquire. But that would be the one thing that would probably catch your eye, as far as bright things go, would be a rack of sashes and scarves.
Could she toddle up and go, "May I have a look at your scarves? I would like to get a few little bits of cloth."
Right, if you'd like. They're, well, they're right there for people to see. Just, appreciate it if you just take a little bit of care. If your hands are a little bit dirty or dusty, got a little bowl of water there for you to wash them off. We don't want the product to get grimy. Other than that, feel free to browse.
She dunks her hands in the water. And she looks at the different colours. How much are you selling them for?
Well, there's a range of them depending on the material that they're made from. But they go from, 4 copper a piece up to, a silver.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. I got to about a silver for some of them. I've got some that are from a very fine, specific kind of silk. No worries, everybody's doing their little breaks as they can. Go for it. Some of them are a little more expensive, but most of them range from about 4 copper to a silver.
She's gonna look for the brightest, gaudiest looking ones.
Okay, so there is an insanely bright yellow one that is almost that weird highlighter yellow that is kind of painful for you to fix your eyes on for a while. And it seems to have been made from almost some kind of coarse cloth. Like it's not a soft one. It's approaching sackcloth quality, but it's not quite. The only other one you've got there is an almost equally gaudy pink. But it's the pink on it has got almost like this tone of red going through. So that depending on like as you sort of go around and you take a look at the different sides of it, you're almost sure that maybe it's potentially been dyed a little wrong. And perhaps it was supposed to be one color, but it's come out not quite that one color. But one side is very clearly pink. The other side's maybe not been taken care of quite as well. They would be the two brightest that this merchant has. Would be the highlighter yellow and the mostly pink, a little bit red.
She's going to get those two plus two more scarves as well, whatever colours are available.
There's a number of other colours. I mean, they range from blues and greens. Most of the ones that this person's selling are pretty bright, but there are a lot of very muted versions of them as well on a separate branch of the rack. So it depends on whether you're going for incredibly bright or the slightly more pale, washed out versions of them.
She's going to get a colour that she associates with everyone in the group.
Okay.
For Nofret, it's going to be a bluish colour, if that's available.
Yep. Are you going on the bright, gaudy side of it, or are you going for the slightly more pastel version?
Everything bright and gaudy.
Okay.
Gaudy.
All right. Cool. Yep. You can find one of those.
For Frey, she's actually going to maybe go a bit more toned, kind of like a wintry white, like maybe that hurts your eyes white, that you can never keep clean once you put it on.
That one might be a little bit difficult to find, especially given that you're in an outdoors area. White is not a color theme that a lot of the Southern Summer Realms people would ascribe to, given the nature of the farmlands and what, like, the mining settlements and things that go on down here.
Is there any wintry kind of colors?
The closest white you could get would be a little bit more on that off-white with like that very slight hint of yellow-brown, kind of ivory-ish.
Is there a kind of an off-white blue?
Sure. Why not?
Excellent.
Yep, sure. It's yep. Again, I take it you go. Well, no, I suppose that would be a bit more on the more pale side of color schemes. Yep.
And kind of like a tiger eye color, you know, like really brown, but with like maybe tiger eye stripes, if that's a thing.
You probably won't find one with stripes. There are ones that seem to sort of have that mottled tone to them.
Yeah.
Like they don't actually have these don't have any form of patterning, but there are a few that have got colours that have sort of blended and then they've tried to avoid over blending. But give me a moment. Sure, you can find one that looks a little bit more spottish as opposed to stripish, but yeah. It's not great looking.
It sounds perfect.
Yeah. In fact, you are noticing that the brighter and weirder colors you go, the worse the style of material it's been made on.
Just so everyone knows, Seka is screaming at her cloth choices.
Cool.
The actual tailor amongst them. Yeah, so she's going to hold up all this head of like brightly coloured, gaudy, not particularly dyed well bits of scarf and cloth and be very excited.
Oh, that's a very fine selection you've made there. That'll come to 2 silver and 5 copper all up.
She hands it over.
Okay. And these can be used as scarves or sashes. They have been specifically designed to either be wrapped around the neck or used as sort of over the shoulder, around the waist. You can tie them as you see fit. But they are not the greatest either dye job or material choice for these ones. But you've got them. Right. And as far as potion ingredients go, is there anything you're sort of actually looking for specifically there, Nofrit?
Well, anything that doesn't seem like we could have found it in Cascorn. Like maybe it's more endemic to this area. Because we're still learning about our plants and how to make potions. We don't know what we're doing yet, but I'm like,
I was about to say, maybe I should be more clear. What sort of potion ingredient? Yeah.
Let's think about what potion I don't know if Frey's here. Lexi, are you here?
No, she went BRB for a moment. So
Yeah.
I don't think she is. Yeah.
I'm thinking we need potions of something like a potion of fortitude. I want to make something that would make Surtawatha feel like I can conquer anything for like a little while.
I mean, alcohol.
Other than alcohol. Something that's not going to give her a atrocious hangover. Well, I mean, maybe if we brew it, it will, but the idea is it's like a maybe, I mean, and you can, maybe it's either something to do with increasing your HP temporarily or
a potion of heroism.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds dope. I want to make that.
because the potion of heroism is much like the spell, where it gives you, I think, a certain number of temporary hit points each round while it persists.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're doing
Okay.
that.
Well, are you or Frey familiar with the spell heroism?
Sorry, can I say that again?
Are you familiar with the spell heroism?
Not particularly.
Okay. So you'd be winging it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's what those girls do.
amongst any of the merchants or apothecaries or herbalists that may be here, you would essentially be asking for materials for a potion that would enhance vitality and and well-being.
Performance.
Yes.
Oh.
Performance. Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yeah, back. Hello.
Hi. I've decided we're trying to make a potion of like heroism essentially.
Ooh.
To do like a little boost to HP, make a person feel good about themselves. I'm like, we're gonna make it for Sudawatha.
Oh, that's
So,
cute.
in case we part ways with them, we'll be like, here, we got you this dope drink in case you get in trouble.
And so are you familiar with the heroism spell, Frey?
Oh god.
Can we do an
No.
Arcana check?
It's a bard and
Can I
paladin
do it?
spell.
Mm.
I'm asking just in
Wait.
case.
You knew Morius?
I knew Morius. Did Morius have it?
No, if you did.
I mean, if he was a paladin, he had access to it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's more along the lines of has it ever been used? It's all right. There are no material components for the heroism spell. So you guys having the knowledge that you do, one of you, or you can either both make a medicine check,
Deep knowledge.
or one of you can do it at advantage.
What check?
Medicine, because we're
Ah,
talking about herbs.
You got
and
this,
things.
Frey.
I got this. I
Yep.
got this.
You're going. Send it.
Shopping episode.
Hooray!
It's actually been a while.
22.
Yeah.
22.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So there are a number of people who try to sell a variety of different herbs and spices. And it is pretty apparent to you very quickly that some of them know what they're talking about, and other ones are just doing the the oiled up car salesman routine, where they are trying to sell you anything and everything and then talking it up like it does things that it doesn't. After a while, you're not entirely sure that you'll be able to get all of the ingredients you require to make a potion you've never made before, or for something that you are unfamiliar with. You would probably need input from somebody else, perhaps an alchemist of some kind, or gain some knowledge about the thing you're trying to do. But should you choose to, you can spend, I'm going to say 15 gold, and you will walk away with a variety of powdered herbs, a couple of flowers, and some oils that you have isolated down to being the core component of what you will need to achieve said goal.
I will do
Nice.
that.
So put them
do you
down. Put them down as potion of heroism ingredients? Question mark.
Can I put
And
5
15
gold towards it, or are you insisting on paying for all of this?
And also mark it down as
Phrase
15 gold,
ins-
just so I know the value you've put in.
15 gold worth. Are you paying for all of it?
Yep, Frey is not hearing a word.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Question mark?
Yep, and put 15 gold beside it so that when it does come down to it, I know exactly how much you've spent. You can choose to try and spend more later, whatever you choose to do, but that's something.
Hooray.
Okay.
And then while we were doing that, Vander found egg.
Egg?
Found some
you
fried
got-
eggs?
You guys found some food. We sorted that out.
Oh,
Egg.
yeah. That's
Yep.
right. It was 2 copper worth.
We have already eaten.
Yeah, you guys have already sorted your foods.
What about second breakfast?
I think, once we've come back all together at the market, I think it is now time we've all had our fun now. It's time to talk about next steps, team.
I want to hunt this guy down and see more about the slave.
Okay, maybe we'll go talk somewhere more private in case people can hear us. And then I'm gonna lead us out to the very edge of the settlement. We're gonna sit down everyone on like a fence line or something. We're all just gonna.
No fences out here, but you can probably find several planks of wood and bits of stone that people are still using for construction, provided that construction is not currently ongoing. So
We just sit. We're looking out at the beautiful summer realm view.
lots
So-
of green fields.
Oh, love it.
Everyone
Green fields interspersed with swaths of blue, like some of the bits and pieces of grass. Like as they rise up to the tip, they actually sort of almost swell out into a bulb, and these bulbs have like this blue glow to it. And it's kind of interesting then that you still have that orange shine behind you from the large falling embers crystal that just kind of casts this very strange color palette in the area around you. But yes, that cool. Away you go.
It's like impressionist art, you know?
Such art. Such art.
So, about the hunt for the Somnodile.
Okay.
We don't need that anymore.
Is that not what you said we were going for?
No, the slave ring.
Oh, that was the other S word. Okay.
Although a good hunt could be fun. Second is all for that. But I think it wouldn't be that fun.
Are we even in the direction of the Somnodile?
I have no idea.
Wasn't it in like the lower summer realms?
You guys are currently the closest you have ever been to the location where you would have been coming for that hunt.
Unintentional hunt.
It is
unintentional.
whereas Ruavant, following the trade route, is about 2 days northwest from here. The swamp where you would find this Somnodiles is about a day out, sort of northwest from here.
Second does put in a vote for that. Apparently that would be very fun for her, and she still has a guild she wants to join.
That's true. I don't know when the next time we would go to Cascon is, though, for her guild. I do feel as if the slave ring is somewhat pressing, just because that man has now said the guy's name. This Captain Salt is going to go to the city and probably deliver that information. So if we're wanting to take charge on it, we have to get in before the big guns do, if you know what I mean.
I don't really believe they're gonna do anything about it since the information that we've gotten, but that's just me.
I mean, I do not understand their politics. I'm not from this place.
Politics generally take time.
And so, don't they require proof so that one political party can't say, "Oh, you followed a naysayr's trail and had no proof." So if we had proof, we could get them fighting over who could fix it up.
So
we were given a couple of reasons from Captain Salt as to why. A, she didn't believe. B, there were other issues more pressing going on in the Summer Realms at the moment. And C, it was not part of her current duty, but that was her specifically. But I'll jump and let you guys talk with.
So it's either we go and do it, or we don't go and do it, and they find out that someone dumped them in, right? Even though Captain Salt says nothing's going to happen, as soon as that person's name gets spread out into the capital, someone's going to report back to them. I mean, in my head, I think this slavery ring is very far-reaching. Someone's going to find out, and they're gonna go on the run again. We'll have missed an opportunity. I'm not saying that that's actually what is happening, but considering that we personally know families who are missing loved ones because of this slavery ring. We saw someone's daughter get put through the slavery ring after they double-crossed someone. We've been there in the room. But maybe, like you say, maybe politics takes time, and maybe we have time to go kill a Somnodial and then go after this man.
That was a joke.
Well, Seket didn't take it as so.
That's fine. Seket's not here right now.
Oh!
No, she is not.
You might hear about that later, is all I'm saying, Vander.
Probably.
How
But
about...
that's fine.
I mean, the thing is, the other place we know that this slaver is on the boats. Going up and down the big river, right? That is something to consider. So we're probably going to have to go get this guy. And then turn around and come back this way anyway. So we could go to a Somnodial on the way back. Trying to appease my sister.
Could we feed them to us on the dial?
I'm down for that.
Proof.
Oh, yeah, right, proof. Yeah, we gotta need that though. I mean, parts
Do
of
we
it-
need proof if we just kill him? Does that not solve a problem?
But at the same time, remember the
Dorian.
information that we got from that person. Apparently he's a big deal. Imagine if we killed someone that's a big deal.
Well, according to that Tusk guy, he's the biggest deal on this side of the table.
As Goldilocks has once discussed, once there is a void of power, it needs to be filled. So we cut off one head and another head just rises.
What you're saying is there's job opportunities.
Bender,
Yes?
you want to be a slaver?
No.
Genuinely curious.
Do I believe it when he says no? When he goes,
Yeah, like
"No."
You can make an insight check if you want.
I'm fucking inside chicken.
And a opposed check of either, deception or persuasion. Don't tell us which, Vander.
So that was a nat 20.
I got
22.
21.
22 and 21. Wow!
The
They
sisters
really
are
want to know.
No.
They are incredibly anti this idea.
I wonder why.
He doesn't want to be a slave.
Okay, good.
Okay.
They both narrow their eyes at you and then go.
But he likes the idea of being in charge.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's the position so much more so than the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you prove a slave ring? That's my.
You
have
capture
to-
a slave?
We have to find slaves. We have to find and save a slave and bring them back.
But even then, that is still just one word against his.
That's just one word
And-
of some guy,
Ledger
some
books?
woman, some person.
Recordings?
Ledger books, recordings. These are the kinds of
Yes,
things.
which can all be forged and faked. Hell, I could write up them now.
Question to DM.
Hello.
Photography in this world.
What do you mean? Does it
Like-
exist?
Yeah.
Not really. People can replicate illusory images from things that they have seen. However, illusions, much as Amanda was pointing out, they can also be not true. So an illusion, unfortunately, is an illusion for a reason. So whilst it can replicate something that exists, it is more commonly used to replicate something that doesn't.
We would need irrefutable proof, which is not easy to come by, especially for a powerful organization that would know how to cover their tracks.
So you'd have to drag said person.
Yeah, and they would have to willingly admit to it. Which, if they're bloodied up, might not be convincing as willingly.
Hmm.
Or someone of authority, notability, like Captain Salt, catching them in the act.
Good point. But she's sad to go to the capital, and we won't.
No.
Oh god, I'm trying to remember the name of someone.
Proof is actually very difficult.
Who was the bad guy?
Can't we? Maybe we
Raven?
should just kill them.
Craven. Then
Claybin.
Claybin. Yes, Clay. What if we got Claybin?
To do what?
He'd be long gone.
To admit to it. To dob them in. To be the guy on the inside that is changing his mind because they captured his daughter.
Again,
so
one
he's
word
a
against
rat.
others. He is a fellow of unrepute. I highly doubt his word would go far. Not against a retired hero. Honorably discharged.
Yeah, if only we had Delane here as well. That would be nice.
I'm saying we could probably go, get rid of this Faros Marat person. Or at least stop them from doing whatever they're doing. Put a chink in their armor, a foil in their plans or whatever. But I'm saying that if we need some kind of evidence, someone to admit this thing.
You can make people tell the truth, can't you, Frey?
Kinda. I tried.
You can
with
tell the
Tusk.
truth and still be lying.
I tried with Tusk, and look what happened.
Yeah, Faros Marat could say he is a big dog in the game of slaves, right? And that's true, without him saying that he could, not the biggest of the dogs. If you're thinking of dog hierarchy, he's not the head of the pack. He isn't, but he's very strong in the pack. This analogy's going nowhere. But what I'm trying to say is he could be honest about being in the slave ring without, making it obvious that he's.
Why don't we just bounce from group to group? So we go to this group, we make them tell the truth, give us another lead, then we kill everyone, and then we go to the next lead. And we just, death by 1,000 cuts.
This is not how you play chess, but
Yes,
You
it is.
tried very hard to cheat second.
You take out piece by piece. That is
Why
exactly
you
how
take
chess
piece
goes.
by
I mean,
piece?
it
Exactly.
it's kind of how chess is
don't
played.
think we should.
I don't think you know how to
killing
play chess.
anyone.
I know how to play chess.
Are
I
I'm trying
you
to
just
say
lying
this.
to second? Were you just pretending to know how to play? Oh, this is too good.
No, I know how to play chess. What I'm saying is I was thinking in the fact that we're crossing whole countrysides and people can talk to each other. Chess pieces can talk to each other and say, "Hey, there's a pawn over there about to take your queen."
But the player knows.
Well, if we
It's metaphor, right?
metaphorically,
it-
yes, the
Okay,
player
I
would know.
think we are going a little in circles here.
I don't think we should be killing.
I thought it
anyone
was a hexagon.
unless they are
Either way, you're wrong.
actively attacking us. And the
But
only
do you
reason
think
why...
that slavers are allowed to live?
No,
They are taking away people's free will.
I'm more
Killing
thinking
them.
about us and the consequences of our actions. If we
Our
kill
consequences
people,
could be good.
if we kill people, it means that people will be coming after us.
That's brilliant. We make them come to us.
But
That is,
more,
yes.
more like
Kind of.
you remember the guards at Cascorn when we took down the Plucky Canary. We didn't mean to. We did nothing wrong. But and then we had
I did
people.
absolutely nothing wrong.
We had people chasing after us, and we couldn't go to that place. That's what I'm more thinking about. I'm worried. Like, slavers are the worst of the worst. They are dirt. Lower than dirt, actually. But I'm more thinking about what is to come after we do something.
I want to point out, Frey, that we went through a nightmare together and got through it. You know, we have done amazing things, and I am hearing you though. I'm hearing you, and maybe you're right. Maybe this is slightly above our pay grade. Maybe we need to go
But if they did attack
do
us,
some other stuff, get some more information, and then go in, right?
So what you're saying is we should bait them, then attack and kill them
It would
after we
be
get a lead from them. I
it'd
like
be
it.
self-defense.
It's
But I didn't
warplay.
hear about it.
Okay.
You know, instead of like outright killing. Is that bad for morals? I think it is, but they're slavers, so
Just to remind you, Frey, we definitely killed people yesterday. Like, they
Oh,
had
I
families
did
and
not
everything, and we killed them.
They
yeah.
did try
I
to
don't
kill
feel
us
bad about
first,
it.
You know? I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, Vander killed like what, 2, 3? You know, he doesn't feel bad about those. So.
I mean, me and Marius, when we were at Fairy Fazal, we kind of killed some people as well.
There you go. They had families.
But
You are holy
Can you
people
stop
and you're going
saying
around
it
killing
like that?
people. And, you know,
but
They
at
could
the
have had
same
children.
time, I'm more worried that we will
They're
be
old enough.
Frey's gonna like gesture through the fort. These people will be chasing us.
from what Captain Salt was saying, they have bigger fish to fry. They're little ants in an anthill focusing on what their leader says, their king. If a problem starts to go away for the king, I don't think he's going to send people for us.
That's kind of a thing. Like, we're not as important as you might think we are.
But if we start
Yeah.
killing people, Frey's gonna say this
Retired
really quietly
heroes.
because she's realizing that she is out in the. If we kill the retired hero, might be a problem.
I agree.
I
think
hate-
This
I
is
ha-
both.
I hate what I'm proposing. We say we need proof, right?
Yes.
What if we try join their side at the board? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that when you were taking a drink, but if we implant ourselves on their side of the board. Oh, it's awful to think, but if we become part of their community, if we get inside of it, if we, prove to this hero guy, and yes, we would be putting ourselves at risk to people like this in the fort, they would literally be coming after us.
Enough for it.
Yeah.
Look me in the eye and lie to me. Tell me that this is what you want to do. You can be a slaver. Because if you can't make me believe it, how can you convince people like them?
I grab him by the shoulder. I look him dead in the eye. I want to be a slaver.
I will roll an insight on that.
Me too!
And you can make a deception or persuasion check, Nofrit, depending on whether you're telling the truth or not. And don't tell us which one it is.
If only we had someone to talk to that was...
Gonna use my luck crystal for the day.
Of...
It's alright, my insight's not that great.
I got a 7.
23.
17.
Ooh.
So I'm guessing then that they believe.
Nofrit!
Yeah.
She seems
Seket is
oddly sincere.
screaming in the back.
Well,
Some choice
this plan
words.
might have more value than I thought.
Do you think there is any way to get someone inside of either here or Cascon that would be willing to, I guess, help us when it comes to trying to find proof? Like, there's someone that we can go to, being
I
like,
would close
hey,
Hitty's mouth.
we're going to do this. We'll get you information. Do you think?
Maybe we could talk to Captain Salt when she comes back. She said that she would maybe look into it if we could get her proof. If we say, hey, this is our plan to get you proof, can you be our...
Don't know how long she is going to be gone for.
Wasn't it just like a drop delivers and she'll be back? She's got like flying things.
Given that Jean made things sound a little suspicious, I don't know if I trust her to be back soon.
I think we can tell Vian and we can tell Sagan.
Whereabouts is Sagan?
Well, he's gone to ground at this point. But you know how... isn't there ways of sending messages magically to people, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
Wait, we can talk to each other.
But I mean, that's short distance, right? I'm thinking like there's a long distance version. Did not... Because Azeria used to do this, right? Azeria used to send long distance messages. We know that.
Possibly, I believe so. I'm not
Yeah. Didn't
Don't-
she use the message spell a lot?
She used
She used message, not sending.
I don't think she was with you guys long enough to get the sending spell. She had a thing where she could do one back and forth communication with somebody back home. That was a specific item that she had. But it was one specific person she could write in a book, and it wrote in a book back there, and then they'd write. But it was a limited.
I can do that.
Yeah, and it was a very limited sort of a back and forth. Like there wasn't just whenever, wherever,
Yeah.
and it wasn't whoever. So, but yeah, no, Sargon was rather pissed off that turned out one of his crew, if you will, or one of Guts' crew.
Yeah.
Was that? Which is partially the instigating incident as to why Kirith Nan are doing all of this investigating on the slavery thing. He got really pissed off that it had snuck in under his nose like that. And he's not one to let things lie. So that is an option if you could get a hold of him.
Do you think he would remember us?
I'm sure he would. We annoyed him for enough resources and he gave us the pins.
Because I could attempt to reach him.
You could? I mean, the other... You go first.
Hetty kind of reaches and pulls her beautiful Fae tome. That's basically the only difference when she's out and Seket's not, because Seket doesn't keep it. I can choose a name and write messages, and it will get to them. And I believe they can reply.
Okay.
So, and then it disappears. So it's not like if somebody got my book
They wouldn't be able to find the message.
and I, hadn't been able to flail them alive for taking my book. She gets like this little spark in her eye. Then,
Thank you, Gibble, for joining the party.
we could use that to be our message to the outside.
That's an option. And also, I feel like we would have the full backing of Kiratnan if we did this. I don't know if we told you guys, but when we met Sagan, it was on a boat, and his crewmate was part of the ring. That's why I have the chess piece that I have. Oh, hell yeah. It's a humble friend. So we could. The other option is I could try Dreamwalk to Sagan. The dream seems like a pretty dangerous place to still be playing in at this point. Because that's the other thing that we should possibly talk about. Is, there still seems to be...
All out war.
Yeah, in the dream space.
Someone
But I don't think that's something
basically
we can find
basically-
information on.
No.
they could possibly.
Oh god!
I don't know.
Oh my god! That felt good.
Thanks, Gibble.
I am a horse girl.
Welcome to the horses.
It's just keepers getting killed and someone trying to
There's multiple bad things happening in this world. That's for sure.
And from the sounds of it, there's weird things happening in the summer realms as well. And knowing us, we will probably find it.
My inclination is to I mean, what leads do we have on the dream right now? What can we actually be doing with that thread?
We could ask her after that. She seems to have more insider knowledge and have a mission.
That is true.
I mean, we could follow her to the capital.
You okay?
That was a big sneeze, sorry.
Oh,
Bless you.
that was adorable. We could just we could leave. We could not do the Somnodial. We could not do the slavery ring, and we could go straight to Sunhaven and just see what the city bears for.
I mean, the Somnodial could get us some money.
I mean, you sounded very convincing when you wanted to become a slaver, so I don't think we should just pass that up now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Prospects and all.
Eyes narrow again.
I bet Theodore would have been good at the whole infiltrating the slavery ring thing, but
No, I think that would get him killed.
Again.
Again.
Yep.
Great to see you're all on the same page.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, last time it was to do with dreams, so this time would be slightly different.
I don't know. Things just seem to want to kill him a lot.
Yeah.
Can't imagine why.
Mm.
He does
Inside
nothing
joke.
wrong, ever.
Nothing wrong.
Inside check.
A lot of that going on today.
I want to know
You
if this
you
cat
guys know the
actually
drill by
thinks
now.
Theodore's an okay guy. Eh. Oh, no way. Natural 20.
Oh.
For a total of
Not that much. 22.
22.
He thinks the hero's all right. Still probably deserve to die, but
Oh my god.
he's an all right guy.
I love that.
He's all right for a dead dude.
He's alright.
Formerly dead dude. I don't know.
So funny.
Would be surprised if he showed up dead again.
Good lord.
I think if we were to go to Sunhaven and we were to investigate the dream stuff a little bit more, one of the questions we need to be answering is whether other people are going to sleep and not waking up in the same manner that Surawatha did. Because if it's more widespread than that, then we have a, there's an active problem with the space between. Is
We already
thin.
know that it is.
I
Remember
know
that
it's
from
thin.
that
I know
tribe?
it's thin.
No, remember from the tribe.
I know, but
There was that girl that Zekut kind of liked.
interesting. But
Oh, she never
Is-
said that out loud, did she?
Jesseth or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesseth or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that.
I probably have the name written.
It was the aunt of the girl that got
Oh
taken.
no, Justine.
Justine, that's it.
Yeah, Justine.
She was she was the aunt to the girl that you guys freed.
But still, it seems like that
Because she
is still
works.
that side of the river, if that makes sense. Like if you think of Cascorn as kind of like a middle point, that's what we know on that side of the river, is that there's people getting taken into the dream. We don't know what's happening over here. We don't know if the Summer Realms is also afflicted by this.
I mean,
Is it just a
the
pocket?
dreams go everywhere.
Yeah, but it still could be like a localized area of thin, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Yes,
it makes sense.
I'm glad you understand. How about, hear me out here, we go meet with the other party. We throw the idea at Vian, right? See what she thinks.
And if they have any ideas, because I think they might want to follow it up too.
Maybe they have some ideas. Maybe they will go do it instead. I don't know. Maybe they're more capable than us, but I doubt it.
They cannot be subtle. Have you seen their Bob?
Yeah, the unmitigated asshole is very subtle.
I thought he was kind of cute.
And I think part of it is just going to be getting on the road. We start on the road to Sunhaven, and if we get close to where the path would deviate, to go talk to a certain person.
Alfred,
Mm.
did we tell you that Jean wanted to talk to you about your runes?
No,
Oh,
you did not. What
Oh,
do you
I
mean
forgot
once you
that.
talk about my runes?
She seemed curious. She seemed to know something about. She wants to talk to you.
And I stand up, brush my legs off. And
Are we done talking here?
we're done
I
talking
think
for
so.
now. I've told you what my plan is. Now you guys can formulate your own and get back to me. And
Should we be letting Alfred go alone?
No, but it's funny to watch for a little bit. Howling so hard.
I thought she was having a good day.
I know, she was trying so hard.
She was.
Okay.
Alfred, wake up!
So, meeting adjourned, is it?
Apparently.
So good.
So
you
you
can
heading
tap back in, Quinn.
That's all right. No, this is great. I don't get enough opportunities to sit back and just let you guys go. So this is great.
And in some ways, it's probably very interesting to you to hear what we're thinking.
No, honestly, this is really, really good. Like, I love this. So, you guys are all heading straight back into the fort. You're done out here at this little sort of.
To be a good day.
Could still be.
Today is a very good day.
So there's been a bit of time that's passed while you have been doing this. I've made a series of things or checks that some worked and some didn't. Because as time passes, things go on. But you guys head back inside. The two guards are still there, the lion-maned one and the sunburnt fella. And you head back into the courtyard, and it seems as though the majority of the drills for now have not stopped but lessened. As you were sort of coming back in, you did see that several of there was like a small force that was sort of, not going to say force, like a patrol was mounting up on some of the horses on the stable outside and heading off to do some scouting, one would assume. But you find yourself back in the courtyard. The activity's died down. It is decidedly less noisy. And there are a number of the guards and things milling around. There is a little bit of construction going on the inside of the wall. There wasn't a lot going on the outside, which is why you guys were mostly sort of uninterrupted. They seem to be doing some reinforcing in here. Plus, you get the impression that, given what went down last night, a few of them are probably doing some work in the underground cells. So, construction's been delayed by a day. So, you're returning into the courtyard. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
We knew their room was next to us, so we're gonna go bring the food that we did collect for Suruwatha.
Right.
I'd go give that, and I'll just go knock on their door. The other team's door.
Okay, the other groups, right. There is no answer.
I just push open the door. Is it empty?
There is nobody in there.
Damn it, guys. They might be gone already.
That's unfortunate.
Surely they would have said goodbye. Or at least told us what was going on, because we were going to help them.
Maybe they had pressing matters to attend to and couldn't find you, so who knows?
We did what our characters would do.
Yeah, no, that's... And I did what the dice told me to.
Maybe we go back up to Captain Salt's room. They would know. Or Altan, right? The commander guy. He might know some of the comings and goings of people in this place.
What about the guards on the front? They've been there the whole morning. Maybe they saw them.
Okay. We could split up into pairs. Some go talk to the guards. Some go... Or we just keep going as a group everywhere, because you seem so worried whenever I say it's just go somewhere individually.
And you storm off frowning. I can't help but follow. I got to see where it leads.
Let's go talk to your gate guards first.
Okay, so you're heading back out to the gate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. You walk out the gate. The gate you not long just walked back through. The two guards are there.
Hello!
Oh, that bad, huh?
Huh?
Hi, we're trying to speak to you?
And I said hello back.
Oh, we didn't hear.
What?
It did come
Oh.
back. Mike.
Oh, okay.
You just looked like you were in
I
a
just saw
daze.
your
We're like,
face.
oh, you're very
okay.
hungover.
He did say hello back. My apologies.
Okay.
We were wondering if you had seen our friends. And she goes to describe like the goblin and the big bard dude and Ben and Jean.
Oh, yeah, they came through a little bit earlier. I don't know. I think they were gonna go do some investigating the little village here, find something. They're probably still there. I don't know. We don't really keep track too much.
Oh, that's not very good.
Okay, thank you.
How can you monitor threats?
They were leaving, so we don't really keep track. If they're coming in, we take note. If they're leaving, we don't care. So thank you.
You could phrase it the better way. If they're leaving, it's no longer a problem. You know what I mean? Like, you don't care comes across as a very...
Thank you for telling me how to do my job, miss. Have a good day.
It's just phrasing, you know.
Okay, thank you. Move along.
Hetty's going to like squint her eyes and go, Bien, this is a message. Are you around? You can reply.
You have the message spell?
I do.
Okay. The range on that is what? 100 feet?
120.
Okay. So sorry, repeat the message for me?
Bien, are you around? This is a message. You can reply to this message.
Right, yeah. Message. Yes, I am around. Can I help?
We were just working out what to do next and wanted to see if you wanted our help with the slave ring.
Right. Probably better having that in-person discussion.
We tried, but we could not find you.
Yeah, I was helping Jean with one of the devices on the wall. I mean, we can talk in the tavern if you want, or up on the wall. There's nobody but the two of us up here at the moment.
On the wall? We can do that. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, just... We're up on the... I don't know, the northwestern side.
Team, northwestern side wall.
Huh?
I found them.
Oh, great. That's good. Good work. Second wouldn't be able to do that. Nice.
No, she most certainly could not.
This is the sass session. That's what this is. From the party and from the NPCs.
Everyone's got some sass today.
Everybody's got the sass. Okay,
By the way,
so are you...
Becca is so mad at this point. She's so mad.
She's like seething.
And it gets worse. It gets worse as Hetty takes out each piece of like sash or cloth and
Oh no!
starts strewing it around herself. So like she's makes like a little gouge out of one. She's like the bright yellow one she kind of puts around like her arm like it's like a high vis thing, and the pink one on the other side. She just starts decorating herself with all these bits of cloth.
Where did you get... What is that fabric?
I bought it.
Why?
I'm going to make things out of it, but for the moment I am going to break it in so that it's nice and pliable.
I would not have thought that you need to make a fabric pliable, but...
And you have not worked with much fabric, have you, sister?
Well, I've made shoes.
You stick with your shoes, and I will stick with the fabric.
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
I trust your judgment.
That smile again.
Okay.
Northwest wall, huh? Okay, let's go.
So after that conversation, standing in between the two guards,
No, we were
who are
walking
now
and
just-
talking. We were walking and talking.
So you were walking away from the gate back out towards the settlement?
Oh no!
Okay, so you now abruptly turn around and go back through the gate where the crimson-skinned guard who took note of you before sort of deliberately makes sure, Nofret, that you can, or that you know, that he can see him taking note of you coming in.
Very good.
Doesn't reply.
Okay, up to the wall.
And you find on the inside of the courtyard the set of stairs that will lead you up onto the wall. Proceeding around with this sort of constructed battlement, there are a couple of people up here. Not a huge number of them at the moment, but just enough to sort of maintain a presence, kind of like lookouts. And there is specifically one guard posted at even intervals interspersed around the battlement. There are these almost like these metallic-like devices that have been constructed and come up out of the flagstones and almost rest over the battlement pointing out. And it is, as you're sort of passing them, each one of these guards sort of very much gives you a bit of a sharp look of, stay away. But there's enough room to skirt around, and you do eventually find around the northwestern side, close to where the orange crystal is, the wall's been built into the orange crystal. There's a small tongue of it that sort of licks out and over, and you almost have to duck under it to come up. And in this little branch of it, in between the sort of branching part of this flaming crystal and the main body of it, the battlement kind of ends in there, but Jean and Vian are there tinkering on one of these metallic devices. Vian appears to be single-handedly holding it in place, trying to sort of hold it in so that while Jean is actually using some form of another one of her hand devices, she seems to be almost creating these small little sonic vibrations that are almost implanting this device into the ground bit by bit. And while she's sort of standing there, Jean's very intent on what she's doing. Vian, however, because her back is facing out and she's sort of looking along the battlement, she does see you all coming, where she just kind of, her weird braids along the side of her head, she gives a little bob while she sort of holds it without trying to move too much.
Oh, do you need help?
No, I think we got this. It'll take another, 2 minutes? And Jean just shakes her head, very, very intent on what she's doing.
Okay.
2 minutes or something. Alright, you wanted to say something about... There's nobody around, is there?
Is there anyone around?
Make a perception check if you want.
Yeah.
She would, but she's sort of half bowed down and can't really see a whole lot. She can only sort of look back down the battlement, and now there's the four of you standing there, so...
19.
19? Doesn't appear to be anybody other at this particular part of the battlement. You're far enough away from the last sort of emplacement that there's sort of like this enough of a sort of a safe zone for you guys to be able to converse.
Yeah.
So yeah. Right. Well, you wanted to talk about the slave editing, right?
Yeah, we've just been mulling over our next move as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. We were contemplating infiltration.
Infiltration.
Switching sides of the board.
Pretending to switch sides or actually switching? Okay, all right.
Pretending.
Just clarifying. All right.
Pretending so that we could get... Basically, Captain Salt says nothing's going to happen unless there is proof.
Mm-hmm.
We figure by infiltrating, we can get as many different kinds of proof as we can.
Hang on. And she just... The weight sort of seems to finally be taken off, and Vian kind of removes her sort of arm from around the device and just sort of holds it in place instead of actually having herself half wrapped around it. And she sort of looks like, It's not a bad idea, but how do you intend on infiltrating? I mean, you've got to know somebody, right, to be able to get into it, and so far you've been looking for somebody. And the name we've got, I think if you randomly walked up to him and said, "Hey, look, your little group, I know what it is and I'd like to join it," it might be a little suspicious, huh?
I do agree.
Okay.
We have... We could have something from potentially the guy downstairs that introduces us. Or we do have another contact that we can try and get access to, who kind of owes us a favor.
It is at sort of another contact where finally there's sort of this moment where Jean finishes doing whatever it is she's doing and sort of almost rocks back on her heels and looks, nods at Vian, and Vian gives the machine a little bit of a shake and it doesn't seem to move. And then Jean sort of looks up at you without standing up. It's like, another contact?
Another player on the board.
So you know somebody else that's been involved in the slavery?
There are so many of you.
Sorry, we're getting a raid.
In the raid!
Holy guacamole! Hi, Neon. How's it going? Oh no, it's the Neon raid.
The Neon raid.
Oh no. Hi, Neon. How is it? What were you playing today? Oh, thank you so much for being here. Hi, raiders. Welcome to the stream. We're playing some D&D today.
Hello.
We're gonna just slip right. Oh, Sea of Thieves, nice. Damn, I haven't touched boats in a while. I need to get on the boats again. Definitely go check out Neon, everyone. Okay, what were we saying?
Jean's
yes,
just
another
looking pushing
contact.
at you about another contact, and only just finding out about this now.
Well, we haven't really had a lot of time to talk.
No.
Yeah, we don't even know what to call you guys.
Oh my god. Neon!
That felt. Oh god.
Thank you for gift subs. It's so sweet of you.
That felt. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I like how they're just like interrupting each other. It's
That
great.
felt good.
Going to what to
I
call
am a
us?
horse girl. Thank you. Neon.
Part of Kirith Nan. I don't know what else you would want to call us except maybe by our names.
What's your group name? You gotta have a group name.
Kirith Nan.
So good, Neon.
That doesn't
The
even have
care
the...
of nunners.
Okay.
We were meeting,
Yes.
like this smaller group that you work with in conjunction with Kiratnan. Like if you work together that often.
Are you talking about the other group? Like you're a group in the other group?
Yes, but you're not technically part of it, are you? You're just
No.
you just know them.
They're kind of along the same lines as you. They're just a group that, we offered some help to, and now they're doing some work for us that aren't technically a part of Kirith
Thanks,
Nan.
Neon.
Yes.
Hope you had a good stream. Yeah. They don't have like a group name.
Vian and Jean share a look, and just there's kind of almost like a throaty chuckle from Vian and this tiny little giggle from Jean. And it's kind of like, they haven't really settled on a name. I think it's gone backwards between bone breakers, back breakers, and ball breakers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Why
they
don't they
haven't
just
been
go
able-
with the breakers?
Well, that's kind of Vian's. That's what I told them as well.
Oh,
So they can break
bones.
bones.
I'm sure
They
at
could
some
bring
point
balls.
they'll understand that instead of when they're asked what their name is, giving 3 different answers, they can just give that.
I could just say the BBs, and then it stands for whatever they want. The balls, the backs.
Yeah, but in some accents, the BBs probably sound like it's more of a play on how tall half of them are.
Yeah, just
and
little
given that-
babies. Yeah.
And that given that, much like myself, they're a little vertically challenged, they might find that marginally offensive, but who knows? They might also find it amusing.
Mm.
They could go with, like, the breakers of bones, backs, and balls.
I think, yeah, the breakers is what I suggested, but that's an issue for them. And Jean sort of, after she's had her little giggle, does kind of look and is like, regardless, this other contact you were talking about? And how exactly would you convince them that you want to join? I mean, you're obviously not. How would you have known this contact? Do they know that you're they're a part of the slavery ring? And do they know that you're interested, or have you actively been working against it? Because if you've actively been working against it and then suddenly decide to join, that's going to look a little suspicious, don't you think?
We're a lot different.
I'm not shooting it down. I'm just curious.
Our group looked a lot different when we were first associating with this person. And I want to say, it's not that we wanted to associate with them. But let's just say they are on the board. They made some bad deals, and we helped them get out of the deal. Not because we want to be slavers. Let's just put that right out there on the table.
I figured that was the case. Just
We actually freed the slave.
well
That's
done.
what we did. But it means we have potential contacts within the slavery ring. They are trying to make their way out. It does not mean that they would not have the contact. There is also, Sagan had one of these individuals in his employ without realizing it. I'm not sure if you were aware of that.
I have been informed all about the fate of Grim. Yes.
That was us.
Oh, you were the two sisters.
Yeah.
He did speak very thankfully about that.
And because Grin was a player, I already have his piece.
Right.
Which is potentially another way of looking at it. Maybe we just have to act like we are already part of the game. And that would be enough for our hero.
Well, not as if we're running the whole thing, because then he would probably know.
That's the gamble we would be making. I somehow doubt he is running the whole thing.
Yeah, Vian sort of, now that she's sort of done what she's doing, she sort of leans back against the crystal and just sort of folds her arms, just kind of leaning there, while Jean sort of pulls out another device, takes the one off her hand and puts this new one on, and then starts sort of almost semi-pushing a crystal into the side of this machine where it begins melding with it, while sort of just regarding you sort of interestingly, like, okay, so what's the play then? You get in contact with this person, try to convince them you want to join, convince Faruz Marat that you want to join, and take down the organization from the inside? Where would you go? How would you even start with this? I'm out of ideas. I'm just so curious on what you've come up with.
We made commentary that we would need lots of different kinds of evidence. That would make it harder to refute the fact that, it's not forgery or anything. So there was the suggestion of ledgers, writing, finding a potential slave that could be testimonial.
The first could be easily forged. The slave one might not be a bad idea.
Or even if we can set up like a sting, if we know where they're going to hold an auction or something like that, then we'll have the place. We'll have some of the main players and irrefutable proof.
Yeah, it's that day where she does sort of focus back on you a little bit. It's like, well, locating a base of operations was a consideration I'd thought of. It's pretty hard to make a place like that disappear overnight. So if you
We
could
found one in
discover...
Cascon.
Okay, there's one in Cascorn. Interesting. I mean, there's a lot of places in Cascorn. I assume it's well hidden.
Fairly underground.
Is there a reason we're just not telling her?
Just because we're out in the open there, Vander.
Telling me what? I got one's attention.
Yeah, I know.
The dogs in this fort today.
Yeah, wait a minute. Why are we just saying the name of the person that we know?
I was leaving it up to a group decision. If you think it is fine, then
I mean, I was enjoying listening to your word salad.
that's one way to describe how I talk effectively while keeping things back.
Well, let me tell you the decision we've come to, and then you can decide whether you want what you want to do.
Mhm.
Right now, after I'm done installing this emplacement, well, probably tomorrow, we were going to send the BBs, the breakers, whatever you want to call them. We were initially going to send them to the site of the ambush to look for the missing Kerith Narn supplies. See if we could track that back to wherever they came from. But now that we have a name, I feel like that's a little more pressing. So Vian is going to go to the site of the ambush and see if she can track something. And then she's going to make her way to Ruavant, and she's not known to Feruz. I am. I'm kind of too well known most places, unfortunately. She was going to start having a look around, seeing if she could find any more confirmation about his identity, but no other real solid leads have presented themselves. Because I believe the other group had made mention of assisting your friend to head north?
Yes.
Well, I have somebody in the capital I wouldn't mind sending a message to, a package to, and so I was going to send that with them. So that's why I'm sending them and let Vian do the investigations, because they're good at what they do, but let's just say that perhaps subtlety and blending in is maybe not their strong suit.
We did identify that.
Yeah. So however you wish to fit in any plans you have, or have different ones altogether, I'm more than happy to work with you to accomplish that goal. Whether you want to trust me with a name or not, that's entirely up to you. You're clear you have contacts, you've been involved with this. Kerith Narn's been trying to get caught up, and I feel like we've finally got a lead. It's just a matter of what we do with it.
Would that be... Kerith Narn is completely out of Cascon, aren't they?
Completely, but mostly, yes. We have a few, shall we call them agents, still in the city that would not be identified as guild members. Just to keep an eye on things.
Because we could always send them to the auction house to start building more information, trying to set up a sting, get more names.
The auction house?
That's their base there.
Which one? There's a few, but they run out of an auction?
They did,
Wait,
and
did
there's
they-
a beholder.
It's got this weird little thing with like stalk eyes and
The undermarket.
Luren district.
The black market. They She sort of steadies herself. They have a slave auction as well?
Yes.
Our contact,
Oh, boy.
their daughter was getting put up for auction because of a fuck up. And that is why they owe us a favor, because
We got her out.
we bought her and then set her free.
It's a good thing you did then. If I know the auctioneer, they're not to be messed with. And
No,
if they're
we
involved,
didn't do it the hard way.
If they're involved, then I can understand your desire for secrecy on potentially wanting to keep your contact quiet. So then what's your play? I'm going to be staying here for a little bit. I have overstepped my bounds, as the captain made abundantly clear last night, and will be making amends. I will continue to finish the emplacements, and then if my services are required, I will remain as a contact for the guild here. Otherwise, I will probably return to the others and take a new assignment, but that's neither here nor there. What are your plans? And if you choose to pursue this, can we help?
That would be great. I think at this point, possibly we could support the Vian in getting some more clues from the ambush site. Then off we toddle.
Vian does sort of look up. Yeah, I mean, she's been paying attention, but, you know, her body also went a little bit more tense when there was talk of a slave auction. Like, it immediately made the two women very uncomfortable. But, you know, she sort of looks up and it's kind of like, obviously I'd appreciate the help, but I think as far as investigating the ambush site, that might be something I'm better suited to doing myself.
Okay.
No offense, I just think I want to move solo just for a little bit. Be nice to be out from the city and away from an adventuring group. Again, no offense.
None
Just
taken.
get a little bit of time out with me thoughts, and also, you know, if there is anything to follow up, at least I specifically know what I'm looking for. And if you guys choose to go to Ruavant, I might bump into you there, depending on how long it takes.
And maybe if we are to do this thing, people seeing us together would be against
keeps
that.
It keeps a dissociation for now. I mean, obviously we've been seen here together, but you know, we keep that contact minimal.
Mm.
It means it'd be easier to work together later.
What do you guys think then? Team?
I think it is quite dangerous. But I want to give it a go.
Slave is a scum of the earth, as far as I am concerned, that they need to be put down.
That I think we can all agree.
Frey?
Cling, 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 cling. The little crystal sort of hits the ground as Jean's removed her hand from the device, and what looks like a spent clear crystal hits the stone. She places another one into the palm of the device and again sliding that into the machine.
Frey, what do you think?
I mean, I'm here to help out whenever needed. So, yeah, I agree to this.
So, to Ruavant for you then. Then once I'm done here, I might have some things I can have prepared for you, just to help. If you're happy enough to delay leaving for a little bit.
We have a very inebriated friend who would probably appreciate another day.
Probably shouldn't be traveling till tomorrow, and I don't assume our little group of friends are looking forward to leaving today either.
No. And the others mentioned that you wanted to that you might have knowledge on the glyphs that I have.
Right. One moment. And then she sort of, you know,
Please hold.
yeah, sort of about a minute and a half passes as she sort of is intent on the device, and then she again removes her hand, and there's another clink as a spent crystal drops to the pavement. She removes the sort of glove-like device and looks directly at you before she lifts one finger up into the air, and her bracelet extends. The one that she'd used down in the jail cell, the one that sort of fixes over her fingers, and these coloured crystals extend out like nails. And she starts drawing in the air. And she starts with an ear rune.
Mm.
And then, as it sort of hangs there for a moment in a colour, she starts creating another one over top of it. And given what you learnt last night, what you were figuring out, whilst you can't see exactly what it is, you can see that as it traces some of the same lines, it's another elementally charged rune. And then she starts doing a third. And then she slams her hand into this glowing geometric pattern in the air, and her entire arm lights up as lightning crackles over it. And she sort of holds it up and clenches the fist and then slams it into the device. And you actually hear as this machine suddenly lifts up a little bit, and telescopic nozzle comes out the front of it. And she looks at you and it's like, I have a little bit of understanding of, well, they call it runic magic. And let's just say that the magic that everyone uses in this world,
Bless you.
bless you, yeah. She probably didn't hear that,
Yeah.
though. Bless you.
Yeah.
The basic element, the basic foundation of all magic in this world is derived from runes. Things that decorate your body? I think that's something we need to have a discussion about.
Yes, please.
Perhaps later.
Okay.
I still have more of these to do, unless you are willing to accompany me and listen to me ramble on about a whole lot of esoteric things. I don't know about the rest of you and how interested in any of that you might be. But there's some things I can share with you, and some questions I'd like to ask about it as well.
Of course, yeah. I'm used to holding it in, so forgive me if it
Okay.
takes a while for me to get to the point.
It's okay. I haven't had anybody to talk to about runic systems, I think, since my days in Varish.
Where's Varish?
So, Varish is the Red City. It is the capital of Torloon, and it's one of the most academically minded places in the Eastern Reach. Only one of the areas, one of the districts in the city, Elven city of Lyra, is of a similar repute as far as academics and learning goes.
Mm.
So whatever runic stuff she learnt in Varish. But as that sort of is sort of brought to light, she begins doing these sort of checks on the machine. And as you do, this is where you suddenly start to realize, all of you who cast magic, after watching her do the runic, the rune in the ear, and watching her trace these magic symbols on the device as she's setting it up and charging it, you actually begin to see the correlation between all of your gestures that you use for magic normally and the slightly more intricate display that she's doing. It's almost as though the magic that most of you use in your everyday is a far simplified version, and the gestures that you go through to create your magic spells, they're like basic 3 or 4 lines compared to the dozen that she's creating per rune. But the similarities are unmistakable, even to those of you maybe not quite so magically minded. And as that happens, because I think we're going to wrap up, you do all hear a whirring sound in the ear. And it grows louder as you notice a sparkle of rainbow colors start sort of flashing through the orange crystal. And soaring over the top of it are 2 large dragonfly-like creatures, the sun darters or Vermirathrin. And as they sort of loop around over the crystal, the entire ground, the courtyard of Fort Falling Embers is lit up in this kaleidoscope of rainbow light as the sun filters through their wings. And they kind of float around and spiral down each other. There is one person atop one of them. And a space is cleared in the middle of the courtyard as they come to rest. Jean and Vian both sort of look down, look at each other. It's like, well, I guess that's the captain's ride. Is there anything else you guys want to do? Now's the moment. Otherwise, I think that's where we'll wrap up.
Good.
Okay.
I think that's a cool note to end on.
Yep.
All right. Nice. So you guys have sort of decided on a direction you want to go then.
Yeah.
Have we?
How
Yeah,
you're gonna?
it's-
Well, kind of. It's a matter of how you're gonna go about it that I think is what's still up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it feels like you guys have maybe isolated down what you're gonna do. It's a matter of how you might go about it. That's gonna be, I think, the next big question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, we didn't get around to it today, but Nofrit might get some answers about her runes.
I'm so excited. It's been a long time coming.
But yes, runes are the original form of magic in the world, and all magic is derived from them, which is why all gestures are simplified versions of the geometric patterns.
Damn.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense when you kind of break it down like that.
Uh-huh. I try. I try to have things make sense.
It's wild. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? We could raid either our friend Narnia Lioness, who is live with some Valorant,
Ah, yes.
or we could go to Down to Die RP if people want to watch more Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
I did see they were live.
Or actually, Rollstream is also live with Vampire the Masquerade.
Ooh, I'm not following them.
Oh, some masquerade.
For some Masquerade though.
God, I'm so curious about how you guys want to go about this though. I'm so interested in seeing how you guys want to pull this off. This is going to be great.
Oh, I'm looking at how long people have been live. This is so, oh my god, it's so interesting.
I love the idea of infiltrating. This is fun. I was not expecting the name Clayman to come back up either.
Well, I'm trying to think of what we have, like contact-wise, for all of these different things. And I'm trying to go, okay, how much do we actually know about the shrooms? How much do we know about the slavers? What can we utilize?
Again, that was why I was loving the conversation you guys were having, because I was quite literally sitting back going, this is great. You guys are spinning out you guys are actually spinning out all the stuff. You're planning, you're revealing the information that you have, and it's putting things into place. And I was like, yep, cool. I'm here for it. I'm here for you guys to do some planning and figuring out what you're gonna do.
And then next episode we get to do a whole session of just choosing our new evil person outfits, right?
Oh, you want to do more shopping next time?
We're getting Saketti to make our outfits.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And each one is going to have the plot that I got.
Oh god. Right, let's start this raid off to Narnia Lioness. We'll go give her some love, because she always gives loves here. Thank you to Neon Nation Gaming for the raid. That was very sweet of you. And what else happened this stream? There was a few things that happened this stream. Oh, yes, Gibble, thank you for following and chucking a sub straight away. It sounds like you're from Humble's community, and you're probably playing Rust with him right now. Thanks for the love. Nerdy Otter was here. Oh, Nerdy Otter, I missed you. Hope Cyberpunk went well. I will see you guys. I'm probably gonna stream Tuesday. There's definitely no way I'm gonna stream tomorrow. You can also catch Quinester on Twitch. Lord Kaiser sometimes streams, and
I will be live tomorrow.
and Versus sometimes streams, and I don't know. I love everybody, and this has been a nice big exploration. It's really nice to play D&D with a voice again. God damn. Difference between last
You were struggling last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stay safe, everyone. Bye from us. Bye.
Bye.